So NAAC, the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, it is an autonomous body which is in India that assesses and accredits higher education institutions. Criterion 7, it focuses on institutional values and best practices. So I have prepared my PPT as per the revised manual of affiliated or constituent colleges. So this particular criterion, it evaluates an institution's commitment to promoting core values, ethical practices, and the adoption of innovative methods for institutional functioning. This criteria assesses how well an institution instills the values, ethics, and best practices among its stakeholders. And it fosters or how the institution fosters a conducive learning environment. Let me just go through the main contents of Criterion 7, which carries marks of 100. It is divided actually into 3. One is the institutional values and social responsibilities, which is for 50 marks, and the best practices, that is the second one, that is for 30 marks. Then comes the institutional distinctiveness, that is for 20 marks. So the Criterion 7 of NAAC, this institutional values and best practices, it actually delves into the core values and ethical standards upheld by higher education institutions in India. So this particular criterion, it .1 institutional values and social responsibility. And in the evaluation process, what happens is NAAC looks at how well the institution communicates and practices these values within its administrative and academic activities. Institutions are expected to demonstrate a culture of ethical behavior, both in the case of academic as well as non-academic areas. Plus, the criterion emphasizes the adoption of best practices in the institutional functioning. That is about the second one, the best practices. Okay, so that involves assessing whether the institution employs innovative and effective methods to enhance the quality of education, enhance the quality of research, and the overall administration. And best practices, we can say it may include the student-centric approaches, research initiatives, industry collaborations, and the incorporation of technology to improve learning outcomes. And by focusing on institutional values and best practices, NAAC seeks to ensure that higher education institutions in India contribute not only to academic excellence, but also to the holistic development of students and the betterment of society. So coming one by one, now we will see the institutional values and social responsibilities. Under this, we have a gender audit and measures for the promotion of gender equity during the assessment period. So this is a quality matrix. So we are supposed to, when we are applying for the NAAC, we are supposed to describe the whatever different activities or sensitization programs you have conducted, facilities, what kind of facilities you have for women on the campus. All these we are supposed to write in within 500 words. Okay, so the second one, facilities and initiatives. I'll show each and everything. Under first criteria, the first sub criteria, that is facilities and initiatives. Facilities and initiatives means, again, alternate, whether you have the alternative sources of energy and energy conservation measures up to date in the campus, whether you're using solar or you are finding any, okay, biogas environment is there. Management, then comes the management of various types of degradable and non-degradable waste. Waste management, how exactly you are doing, whether it is up to date or you're using any how exactly you are managing. That is what you are supposed to try, make a report, and even the geotag photos you are supposed to add to the report. Then comes the third one, that is water conservation. Water conservation, again, I will show you the different methods. Okay, whether you have the rainwater harvesting methods are applied over here. Then comes the green campus initiatives. So that is as part of your, again, the previous criteria, that was your sixth criteria, was also mentioned about the green audit, different audit, right? So the IQAC will be handling the different kind of audit over there. So the same certificate, the same procedure, you can green campus initiatives, the green campus or green audit, and the energy or ISO ISO audit. After they conduct, they will be giving if your campus is as per the standards of ISO or the standards you have defined, right? If you are doing exactly whatever it is, the same way you are expected to do, then you will be getting the ISO certificates for energy as well as for environment, and for the that certificates you can upload as part of your 7.1.2. Then comes the fifth one, that is disabled friendly barrier free environment. So most of the time they will be asking whether your campuses, are you allowing the disabled people to make use of your campus. So most of the people want, most of the colleges, what they show is the ramp they will be showing, right? So to go to the labs, whether who is disabled or the elderly faculties, or even the lady faculties who are pregnant, carrying, such people, you have the option to allow them to use, right? Such whether barrier free environment, that is what they meant by this particular criteria, sub criteria. Okay, so again, this is not a QLM, this is a the QNM. Okay, so what you can show it as, you can show you can show it over here. Then comes so the last facilities and initiatives. Okay, so here before going to the next one, physical infrastructure, that is facilities and initiatives. When they mention physical infrastructure is one of the main thing they will be seeing. So NAAC examines the adequacy and functionality of infrastructure. So they will be coming to the classrooms, they will be coming to the laboratories, libraries, hostels, and even and up-to-date facilities that given to the students. It's spaces, they contribute to conducive learning environment. And then the initiatives. So you can have, definitely you can have the student-centric initiatives, and whether even here also you can even just, instead of just mentioning about these 5 criteria, you can even mention about social outreach programs which you are conducting, and any other quality improvement programs you are conducting. Such things are also evaluated. So by evaluating these facilities initiatives, NAAC aims to ensure that the instruction institutions are not only having the necessary infrastructure, but they are also proactive in implementing programs, and should I say, which will enrich the overall educational experience, and it will foster research and contribute positively to the community and society at large. So mainly what happens is, in most of the colleges or most of the institutions which has got the civil engineering department, they or chemical engineering department, they will be taking care of this particular degradable waste or waste management and green campus initiatives, because they will be having the master's program in environment or sustainable energy, sustainable facilities, and alternate sources of energy and energy conservation measures. Usually, the electrical department people, they will be taking care of it. So that is an other kind of audits, other quality audit when it comes. This is as an additional maybe a sponsored research or funding research that the department also can show, when if suppose if these departments are going for other the NAAC criteria, uh, kind of peer to peer, right? You are able to see my screen? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay. Next one, the quality audit. So this was, I was saying about the quality audits before also. So these are some of the under 7 the criteria. First subs criteria, you have all these 4 you are supposed to show: the green audit or environment audit. So you will be calling it as either green audit or environment audit. Here you are supposed to show the actual certificate which is given by the certification authority, and the how many times the audit is being done in a year, and how many internal audits are done, or external parties have come and done the audits. That should be shown, and the certificate received from the external agency should be shown. And definitely you need to show the geo-tagged photos of the campus, right? And the while the audit was happening, how exactly the inspection is going on, that is also you are supposed to mention and show it over here. Then next one, the energy audit. Energy audit also, uh, we are expecting, the NAAC is expecting you to conduct in a very similar way. The which I told about the environment audit. So here, when I was sitting with the energy audit people, what they are doing here in our colleges, each and every month, every 15 days, they are checking. I mean, almost every day they are checking the meter, do the optimization. Such things are noted and observed and marked. So such things will be done. Here again, we are supposed to show the ISO certificates. That is a mandatory thing in NAAC now. Mm. And here also, how many months in a year, how many times the internal audit is done, and how many times the external parties have visited. Such things are also being recorded, and the certificates are being provided. And again, the geotagged photos are taken and added over here. Then comes the clean and green campus initiatives. Okay, the clean and green campus initiatives, what you do is, previously when we were in schools, what you used to do on Republic Day or on 2nd October, we used to specifically make the students do the cleaning of the campus, right? So similar way, I think we can do, or most of the colleges, most of the institutions, they are having something known as the National Service Scheme, NSS. Because the NSS is the one which take care of the main campus initiatives. They will be having so many nature visits or nature clubs, or they'll be on, even on June 5th, the Environment Day, right? The World Environment Day, they will be planting some saplings. So such initiatives you can actually show on as part of the what should I say, clean and green initiatives. And then comes the beyond the campus environmental promotion and sustainability activities. So here, what happens is, even in all of these different audits, quality audits, green audit and environmental audit, it should comply with the whatever regulation. So whatever when the NAAC comes and assess, or the assessing adherence to any environmental laws or regulations and standards, so that will be done to ensure the organization operates within the legal frameworks. So that you need to make sure you are within the legal framework. And again, when I talk about the clean and green campus initiatives, so the sub criteria which we have mentioned in 7.1.2, again it comes over here, the waste management. So examining waste disposal methods, recycling practices, whether you are the plastic and paper differentiation and food, how exactly this waste management is done, whether you are doing the recycling practices are there, and pollution prevention measures are there to minimize the environmental impact. Such things will be assessed by the NAAC groups, the NAAC team. And emission controls, that is most of everywhere. That is one of the problem now which we face in almost all the institutions, because most all the staff, even students, are coming entering the campus by their own vehicles. So it is mandatory that we should provide the emission controls, the rules and regulations are actually followed. So evaluating the systems in place to control and monitor emissions to air, water and soil, ensuring compliance with environmental standards. So that is again one of the point which comes under this clean and green campus initiatives. So here we can provide again photos about how exactly you are controlling or monitoring the emissions to air, water and soil. And then comes the biodiversity conservation also, you can show it over here. So that is like assessing initiatives aimed at preserving and promoting biodiversity within and around the organization's premises. Then the energy audit, one or two more things I would like to add, because the energy efficiency, examining the efficiency of energy usage, that is what in our college we are doing. So that is including the equipments, including the assessment of the equipments and the processes, whatever we are following here, and the new technologies which can be used to identify any opportunities for energy optimization or conservation. And then comes the renewable energy integration. So evaluating the adoption of any renewable energy sources. Here in our campus, we have the solar system, solar panel usage, and what we can, some other places they will be they are making use of the wind energy and any other sustainable alternatives to reduce the reliance on non-renewable resources. Then comes the then I'm just talking about the energy management system once again. So here assessing the implementation and effectiveness of energy management system, that is what we have is the ISO 50001. That is a certificate we have. So that is a standard we are following. So to optimize energy performance. Then this is one of the new method which most of the institutions are following. That is carbon footprint analysis. So examining the organization's carbon footprint through an analysis of greenhouse gas emissions and identifying strategies to minimize them. Then, so overall, these things are overall monitored by the policy and planning department, or even you can say it is monitored again by IQAC, and reviewing the environment and energy policy strategies and action plans to ensure alignment and any sustainability goals. And monitoring and reporting, we have a separate team for this particular purpose, for energy management team as well as an environment management team. So these team will be assessing mechanisms for continuous monitoring and measurement and then reporting of environmental and energy performance. This we have conducted the faculty awareness program for this particular before conducting the audit. Initial audit we have conducted, and the actual audit before we are conducting on, and the external auditors before they come and examine our organization, we have conducted the employee awareness. So evaluating training programs and awareness campaigns to ensure that the employees understand and they are actually part of this, right? So actively contribute to environmental and energy conservation efforts. So for that purpose, we have conducted the faculty awareness program also, and even that report, which can show as part of our quality improvement. Then, so all these different quality audits on environment and energy, these quality audits, it aims to ensure that organizations are committed to sustainable practices and it comply with the regulations and actively pursue initiatives to reduce their environmental impact and enhance any kind of energy efficiency. So these are the actual meaning of the quality audits on environmental and energy. Then comes the next sub-criteria, the institutional efforts or initiatives in providing an inclusive environment. So here we have tolerance and harmony towards cultural, regional, linguistic, communal, socio-economic diversity and sensitization of students and employees to the constitutional obligations. So this, what are the different professional ethics or values, rights, duties, and responsibilities of citizens. So for to show that we may conduct different activities, and we may make the reports of such activities, and this is also again as part of this is not QNM, this is quality metrics. So we can make the report, and we can add, as I have told before, so many different photos, even geotagged photos, which, and when we are actually adding a number of photos, it's actually it becomes as I have told, self-explanatory. So here this also I will show you some photos which some other people have used, or our college which you have used. So that in the context of this particular thing, in the context of higher education institutions, so creating an inclusive environment that involves implementing various efforts and initiatives to ensure that all the individuals, regardless of their backgrounds or characteristics, they feel welcome and supported. So some of the common initiatives which can be applied by any of the our institutions, it can be like diversity and inclusion policies. So that means implementation of clear and comprehensive diversity and inclusion policies which articulate the institution's commitment to creating an inclusive environment. Then you can conduct the programs which enhance equal opportunity programs, you can call it as. That is the establishment of programs and policies which promote equal opportunities for all and addressing issues related to admissions or scholarships or faculty or staff recruitment. In all these things, you can show we are actually providing equal opportunity. So that these policies you may have to upload as part of your the 7.1.4. And there again, what you can show is you are providing accessibility services like a provision of accessibility services and accommodations to ensure that students with disabilities have equal access to education resources, your and activities too. Then cultural competency training, that is also another part, or you can just mention in your report. You have the training programs for faculty, your training for staff and students to enhance cultural competency, sensitivity, and awareness of diverse perspectives. Then the institutional efforts or initiatives, yeah, you can mention something like the support services for underrepresented groups. So introduction of any support services and membership programs or mentorship programs specifically designed to assist underrepresented groups, including minorities and marginalized communities, that can be done. And most of the institutions, they'll be having some kind of trust, so the trust can start their own scholarships, or you can have the principals honors list or directors honors list. Such things you can introduce, and that is also you can show it as efforts or initiatives. And other than that, what you can show is inclusive. If your organization is an autonomous one, you can show the inclusive curriculum and teaching practices. So that will content and teaching practices that reflect diverse perspectives and experiences within the curriculum. And again, here, the student engagement activities. So events, workshops, cultural celebrations, which promote understanding, collaboration among the students. All these activities you can show as part of this particular criteria. Then obviously gender equality initiatives. So most of the institution is having this particular women's cell is there, and equality initiatives, I think it should be done. So implementation of the policies and programs which promote gender equality, including initiatives to address gender-based discrimination and harassment. So such initiatives should be shown as part of this. Then what you can show is something known as the safe spaces. So creation of safe and welcoming spaces on campus where the individual can express themselves without fear of. So show. Then finally, what you can show is a regular assessment and feedback. So implementation of mechanisms to regularly assess the inclusivity of the institute, improve initiatives. So that also you can show as part of this criteria. So all these under 7.1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. All these efforts collectively contribute to fostering an inclusive environment within higher education institutions. So that will ensure that everyone has the opportunity to succeed and thrive irrespective of their background or identity. So now let me come to the sub-criteria, that is 7.2. So here what exactly we're going to show is the two best practices. So there, if you have more, it's fine, but at least two best practices which is successfully be shown in the format which is provided by the NAAC. Okay, so that particular format is provided. You need to prepare it and you need to show it in the institution's website also. So you in the NAAC doubling to best practices as posted on the institution website, and any other relevant information you will to show us. That also can be shown, and the link also link should be provided in the when you're applying for the NAAC. Okay. Then so this also I think I will show you the okay, just now itself I'll show you the some of the practices. So this, you can see, this is a Word document I just have made. This is from not from my college. This is from, it was available freely in net. So I just wanted to show you. So these are some of the programs they are showing as part of your part of the practices. Okay, so best practices. So village adoption program, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. I think most of these things every one of us are doing, right? So distribution of, this is from one of the college from Tamil Nadu, and the social responsibility, and this is what they have shown as the best practice: mushroom culture and rainwater harvesting. It is the rainwater harvesting can be shown as part of the best practices as well as water conservation, both the sides in the 7.1 as well as in the 7.2. Then waste management, this is how they are showing the how the different ways of waste management. One is cow dung, another one is mushroom waste, another one is the leaf litters. And they have the sericulture, that is as part of the best practices again. So this is also in the campus itself, they have dairy farming. That this is what I was telling you. Whenever we are in our report, if we are introducing a lot of pictures, it is self-explanatory. And the best practices. So these are some of the best practices they were following: general knowledge, spiritual education, wit for wisdom and humor for health, citizenship training and self-study scheme, physical training, yoga and asanas. And as part of the next one, that is institutional distinctiveness, what they have shown was practice of yoga for health. You can see from the picture itself, harmonious development of body, mind, and soul. Our this UHP programs, it's actually saying for each and every institution, organization should have the holistic development. So we can even say that the yoga practice is part of harmonious or holistic development of body, mind, and soul. Then in this college, what they were following was mass drill and Surya Namaskar. So that is again the harmonious development of body, mind, and soul. So these are some of the pictures I wanted to show. Then this is as part of the curricular activities of gymnastics, sound mind in a sound body. So this was distinctiveness of Vivekananda College. This is again from Tamil Nadu. And social intelligence, empathy, how they are showing. And indoor stadium, that is they were saying the excellence in sports. That is as part of again extracurricular activities. And this is NCC cadets. So these are, I'm just giving you some very simple ideas if you are still planning to apply. So what are all the different things you can show? This is what I was saying. NSS, every college you will be having the NSS team. So NSS volunteers in social services, what they are doing, they were cleaning the campus. Then martial arts. So these are some of the things I just wanted to show you. Back to our PPT. So now the format given by NAAC, that is what we need to see. Practice. The practice. So when you're saying if the practice is okay, so we are providing some help to the under represented groups. So how exactly you are planning to write the title of the practice? Or if you are planning to go for some student-centric learning. So that is most of the institutions are that practice student-centric learning. So how exactly? Then you need to second thing is you need to make the, or you need to very precise objectives you need to write. Okay, objectives of the practice. So what are the objectives, intended outcomes of these best practices, and what are the underlying principles or concepts of this practice? So that you need to write in context of your institutional best practice. So what were the contextual features or challenging issues that needed to be addressed in designing and implementing this practice? So that also should be written in about 150 pages. So here I will give you an example from our college. So here what we have written was best practice one, and we have written it as campus automation with AES. AES is our academic enterprise solution, and we have given the objectives of the practice as around some 10 objectives we have given, like automate all the academic activities, enhance the efficiency of the institution, make the office work simple, organize all documents in order, streamline the works connected with the conduct of examinations. Such different objectives we have defined. Then we have mentioned the context. So what is the context of this particular academic enterprise solution software? So we have mentioned as the college offers several UG, PG, and research degree programs in various engineering and applied science streams. So that is what, and we have elaborated on that. Okay, then the practice itself. So we need to describe the practice and its uniqueness in the context of Indian higher education, and what were the constraints or limitations, if any, if we have faced. So for that, we have written our best practice conduct of industry relevant training programs in offline and online modes. So there also we had got some objectives, around 5-6 objectives we have got: conducting skill development training programs, building capabilities, establishing tie-up with industries, or making the stakeholders understand the spirit and innovation. Such different 5-6 objectives we have written. And the context, again, we have mentioned it as right from the establishment of our organization, the college has been giving emphasis to all aspects of student performance. We have written elaborate. Mentioned the fourth point, the practices the facilities created by the college have given. Then we have mentioned like we had some additional programs, like automobile engineering department had their own training center, and fiber optics electronics department had their own another fiber optics communication center. Then we had established an ISBN idea labs, next reality lab. Such different labs were there. So the practice exactly how it was there in our college that we have mentioned. And for that, we have used the trained faculty, experienced trainers from industries. We made use of them. Then long-term training for 10 students. So that is also we have provided. And training of service technicians we have provided. Such things we have explained. Then we were supposed to show the evidence of success. How we will be showing the evidence of success? This is also, it is given as by the NAAC itself. We are supposed to show the format for the presentation of institutional best practices. So here we were supposed to provide the evidence of success, such as performance against whatever targets we were having, and benchmarks what we have put, and the reviews and the results. So, and what do these results in 200 words? So evidence of success, for example, the first one, the academic enterprise I have told you. So the of success, most data and documents related to college are readily available. That is true. So if we want anything to be taken from the AES system, we can get it. And controlling officers of college, the chairman, the principal, the deans, registered, such people can monitor the coursework of each and every faculty or each and every subject in time or any time. that is another evidence. And all payments to the college by students can be done to this particular software. These are all different evidences we have mentioned. Then comes to the sixth point, that is problems encountered and resources required. And the problems encountered here was we want a dedicated person for to take care of this particular system, right? So and time to time, it is like you are purchasing a new software or new hardware. For a best example, you are purchasing a what do you call a water filter. Water filter also requires a time to time maintenance. Annual maintenance contract is there. The same way, if you are making your even you have an institutional best practice which requires the maintenance time to time. Then the final one, what NAAC was asking us to provide was the notes that to add any other information which you feel as relevant for adopting this best practice or implementing this best practice in other institutions. That also you may mention. So, and any other information which you feel like mentioning about the best practices you already have started and which may be adopted by the university you are affiliated. Suppose the best practice which was praised by or it was if any other organization for adopting the best practices you have shown, that also you may mention in the as part of the notes, but that is again optional. Now coming to the last one, which is again a QLM, the performance of the institution in one area distinctive to its priority and thirst. So that is also you are supposed to write it as a report. It's a quality matrix, and you are supposed to provide the link to appropriate within the institutional website and any other relevant information which you would like to add. So these are the this is one of this criteria 7, which was having 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3. So I think this is almost self-explanatory. Most of the times you will be showing so many different pictures, or you will be showing. So this is each and every department has to try for getting the information, the documents which is required for this particular matrix, because you are supposed to write in report form, not just show it as numbers. So that is the about this particular criteria. So let me just show a few things also. Okay, so here it is. Here we have the institutional values and best practices. So the institutional values and best practices, what we have shown here of the problems encountered and the notes. All these things are mentioned over here. Then initiatives in providing an inclusive environment, what we have shown over here. So support for differently abled students, access for economically weaker sections, admission for minority community, and other initiatives like bridge course-specific special assignments, peer teaching, and collaborative learning. So these are some of the things which we have shown: patent and awareness programs, soft skill development programs, United Nations academic impact activities, tie-up with Oracle Academy. So these are some of the things we are showing. Okay. And facility as initiatives on social responsibilities. Here again, we have alternative sources of energy. So this is how my screen is visible to you.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how we have made the report. We have the solar over here and the energy management, solar power station. So the of the organizations are making the reports. I am not saying this is the best one, but you may find good in other university sites also. You may find some good things. So you can ask the people to share it with you. And management of green campus initiatives. These are some of the green campus initiatives here. Few things I am showing over here. This is this particular thing we have. We why this is a skywalk. This in picture what we see is it's almost 1 kilometers from the campus to the ladies hostel. The students doesn't have to go to the they don't even have to step into soil, but they can just walk the skywalk, this bridge directly from the campus to the hostel they can reach. So you can see how it is. Even for boys hostel also it is there. So these are all as part of our green initiatives in or better best practices you can say. So everybody will be every organization they'll be having their own ideas, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of okay, and maybe we are following is only correct. So make the report and disabled friendly, barrier free environment. So I think you might have got an idea how to prepare the reports, the QNM as well as the QLM for our this particular criteria, 7th criteria. So I think I may stop over here. Yeah, well,